Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be installing this mini split along with the inside unit in this shipping container. Please stick around, it's a good one. And the back ones go the same way. You set that one. Perfect. Just like that, and then it gets bolted down. What that does was two separate pieces there. They fooled me with the way this sits on top of there like that. Those two pieces together. Oh, there's my wiring schematic. That's what I was hoping for somewhere. I gotta run 3 more wires through so that doesn't have to be too tight. I got those wires in there pretty, don't I?
Yeah.
How do I get through this hole now? Drilling the hole right there in the side of the container, by far the hardest, at least the most nerve-wracking part. Everything else was pretty simple. Put this here, put that there. Drilling the hole, I only really had one shot. I needed to make sure it was in a valley. I didn't want it up here on one of the ridges. I also needed to make sure it did not hit a stud inside. If it hit a stud, that would have been a bad day. Needed to be 5.9 inches at least off of the ceiling, and the directions were terrible. They gave me 7 different photos to measure it off of, and none of those 7 photos were what I had. So I found my own way of doing it, measuring off the container, and then I made a couple of arrows that marked one on the wall and one on the bracket. It worked really well once I was done, but the directions for drilling the hole, just might as well have not had them.
With one of them, I'd say it was a type B. Just because I don't see many... I don't see any holes other than like the one in the side here on type A. And this one's got a whole line of them, even if they're ovals. It's got the hole all the way up and down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it doesn't really match any of them.
Not really. No, it doesn't look like either one.
At least I'm not confused alone.
No, you're not confused alone.
This must be my step stool, huh?
Looks like a good reason for
Looks
it.
OSHA-approved. See why my window was cracked?
Yep. Careful. Oh, sorry, I forgot who I was talking to.
So that's even with. Just in from there. So 30 inches. 35 inches will put us in the middle of that. Inner. Okay. Now let's see how that sits out there.
Can't tell. Can you tell, Nancy? Is that real close? Let me see. So it should be fine if it's that high.
Right here.
But remember, it has to be 5.5 inches down.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that still going to be?
I'm not.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. There's an 8, and that's the same as that. So 3, so 4.5. 20 inches. 20 inches down from there is what I want.
Sometimes you make me nervous.
I make you nervous?
Yeah. Just when you hop your ladder to the side in the grass.
Needed to
I
move.
wonder why.
So you put this foot out to balance, and then my big belly doesn't make me fall over. It's gonna have to be centered. Nice that they put a weld right there for me. Do they butt weld these or do they lap them? I think they just butt weld them. That's not as bad. There's nothing flammable to grind her out here, so.
I'm sorry, you want to say that a little louder for those of you that didn't hear? Nothing flammable to grind around here. You're such a smart ass.
Let me go inside one more time before I cut this.
That's probably
So
a good
20
idea.
inches down from that.
Maybe you should get a Sharpie.
No, I'm fine without that part of it. 20 inches down from the steel is the same as the top of the window frame is 12 inches from the steel.
That's really pretty.
8 inches down is there, which puts us 16 inches off the ceiling. The center of the hole comes through there, which is 10 inches. Yeah, let's put us 6 to 6 1/4 inches off the ceiling. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Oh, that's really pretty.
That's gonna look good with light in it.
That's really pretty. I really like that.
You can get one of those fancy cameras on a boom. Or just get really good at piloting a drone and follow me with that. Would that be kind of fun, sitting inside the bus right now piloting a drone while you're warm?
No, because that would mean you don't get to rub my back tonight.
And all you'd hear is bzzz for all the audio. Oh. I didn't find a screwdriver, but I found a hammer with a claw on one end. That should help me out.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was foam. A little bit of metal holding me back there. Good news, no stud. That would have been bad to find out at this point.
Yeah, it would have. It would have sucked.
Garbage be gone, you see that?
Yep.
Just disappeared.
Light is so pretty.
Yeah, I agree. That's way better than any measurement stuff they have. We're gonna have to get it level and we're gonna have to find the studs. But
Lunch first?
yeah, I say lunch first.
Because I'm kind of hungry.
And I gotta wash my hands before I touch this wall at
And I
all.
don't think you want me to keep being your camera woman if I get too hungry.
Or the stud should be there, so. About there is where I want to aim for. Probably put 3 in that stud, but can only get this into 1 stud. I wonder if he has any toggle bolts. I have no wall anchors of any sort.
You put a hole in the wall.
Yeah. I'm only going to be able to hit 1 stud with this.
Oh shit.
I can put this. I'll be able to put like 3 screws in.
Oh, that's a
the
stud? Oh, that'll do
Yeah.
it, yeah.
So I'll be able to put 3 screws right near the center here.
That'd be plenty.
Would you wall anchor, like just any anchors, or just hit the 3 in the center there?
That's what I'd do. I'd run good.
Okay. Yeah, now I'll have to level it.
Looks level.
Level looks level. Level look level to the ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah, then we're probably good to go. I'm surprised they don't come with these things. It's a fairly important part for safety, and it's an easy thing to just say, oh, I don't have that, I'm not going to put it in. Well, I'll go back and do that later and never go back. There we go. That should help hold it in a little bit closer. A little bit less caulk to fill up the gap with. Yeah, that's much better, isn't it? Let that dry.
The next morning.
Slow and steady is the key. You do not want to crimp them. Not applicable in North America.
What's that?
Even though they didn't recommend wrapping the pipes in America, I couldn't imagine not wrapping them. It really seemed the best, especially where it came through up above, being able to put that putty around those holes. If I had a power wire, a drain hose, and 2 AC lines coming out there, that's 4 hoses. That's tough to seal around 4 hoses. It's a lot easier to seal around 1. So I think this wrap, even though it says not applicable in North America, I hate that word, I'd put it on if it came with it. There's a small area here where it's not wrapped. That's because there's a couple fittings in here that still need to be leak checked, and they can't be leak checked until after a professional fills it. And the wall still needs 1 coat of paint, so my little marks and my pencil lines can be removed and then painted. Because this is where it was originally going to be. But we had to move it over so it came out in the bottom of a ridge outside. So 1, 2, and 3 is considered, what are the colors they call it? Brown, black, and gray. So to me, black is black, so that was number 2. This is the closest to brown, and this is the closest to gray. So that's what I did inside.
Okay.
Why they're called brown, black, and gray, and these are the colors they give me, I don't know, but that's red to me. That's not brown.
Yeah, that is red.
Yep, that is red. There. Now Steve's gonna have to come back and disconnect all these when he gets those 2 more of those wire things.
Okay.
We ran out. But he knows that, and he can disconnect wires and reconnect wires. Or when he gets them, I'll come back out and do it. I don't care. I don't think it'll get them both where they're thick. That's all right, because the one, when we put those other ones on down below, they'll pinch both wires too. What you're really doing by getting those things that pinch the wires is makes it so if someone yanks on the wires, they're not yanking on the wires of the connection here.
Because I know what you're talking about.
If I tripped over this and yanked these out, all of a sudden they get together and they're sparking and arcing, and it makes all kinds of a light show and craziness. And you don't want that to happen. So by putting this little relief thing on here, it makes it so you can't pull on the connections. You just pull on the actual cable. And by having one here and then one on each of these here, you're really making sure then that a kid can come through here and step on this and not make a light show. This is the part of the job I'm dreading the most. Do not want to crimp these lines. That one bent good, but that's the easy one. Oh, I think that went well. See how ridiculous I look trying to flatten this. It may look ridiculous, but it worked. Vacuum in here. Probably hear it gush out when I get this all the way off. See how this has that angled right there? If you look at the end of the pipe, it has an angle that matches it. So you want this surface to seal against this surface.
Okay.
And also, if you look, see how this spins? These nuts spin on here. This side does not spin. So when you're loosening them or tightening them, if you spin this side, you're twisting the line and you'll break the line. You always have to spin the nut, not the bolt. Now we need to hook up this hose. And then I gotta, from this point down, I have to tape them all up so they look nice. Now all that's left is to call out an AC guy to charge it, and we still need to anchor it to the pad, but we don't have anchors. I believe that is every single step in this video that it took to put the air conditioning in that shipping container. It was really quite easy. Good directions would have made it easier, but it really wasn't a bad project to do at all. Easily could tackle this yourself as a do-it-yourselfer. And like I said earlier, drilling the hole in the side of the container was by far the hardest and most nerve-wracking part. Aside from that, it was just hook up some lines, hook up some connections, and yeah, that was about it. So if you ever think, hey, could I install my own mini split in my tiny house, in my regular house, in my bus, whatever you have, yeah, they're pretty easy to install. Definitely can handle it yourself. A professional is going to have to come out and charge it now, and when the professional comes out and charges it, if I am here and if they're okay with me recording them, I will record that and I'll have a part 2. I also still have to bolt it down to the pad, but yeah, that is that. Bolt down to the pad. That's not the end of the world step to have missed. But every other step I think I have covered, and I guess thanks for watching. Until next time, peace. I want it behind the thing, and it's not cooperating. It's being very uncooperative.